Hello and welcome back to Third Age Total War Divide and Conquer. Last time we had finished our Lothlorien campaign and we are beginning a new campaign today, the Remnants of Angmar. Let's have a quick look at what we've got on our side compared to other factions. We have trolls, we have quite cheap units and pretty decent elites. However, we don't have very good smithing, we have very little cavalry, but what cavalry we do have is very restricted. At least which is good. We can't build strongholds, but the large cities we can make aren't exactly cities; they're just encampments. So we're mainly stealing settlements from others, and we do have normally a difficult early game. But you'll notice on the campaign rules, I have no restrictions other than to hold 30 regions, and you'll find that's the same with every faction. Because as I said, I have added in the Total War submod. So we start with no preset alliances, no preset enemies other than the bandits and rebels that roam all this land that no one owns. And we are going to see what a Total War Angmar campaign will look like. You're probably thinking, why not just immediately go for Gundabad and take the Misty Mountains? I might do that. However, first it's good to claim some of the bandit regions. Let the world play out, and then claim the remains of the spoils. Now I need to have spam escape, so no cinematic is shown. If the start button is actually pressed, yeah, it is. There we go. Grappling hooks were hurled and ladders raised. Again and again the orcs gained the summit of the outer wall, and again the defenders cast them down. I've read this quote so many times now. I believe that is Bree, but seeing that symbol there, this could be Minas Tirith, and this is Gandalf the Grey finding out the fate of the One Ring. And that is in fact Bilbo that once held the One Ring and left it in Bag End. So for those that don't know much about the faction of Angmar, Angmar was a stronghold, Khan Dûm, that was raised by the Witch King of Angmar after the defeat of Sauron in the Second Age. Claiming the allegiance of orcs, evil men from Rhudaur, and massive trolls, he besieged the lands of Old Arnor. And with his power, managed to lay waste to the fortress of Arnor, the capital, the seat of the throne, Fornos Divine, which is now known as Dead Man's Dyke. And however, he never actually attacked Anuminas. Anuminas, after it was given over to the High King Gil-galad, was basically abandoned after the War of the Last Alliance. Or was it abandoned after? Oh, never mind. So either way, we start with 3 regions, Khan Dûm, Shedun and Litash. And in each region, in Litash we have a small goblin force led by Ugduf. We have a small unit of orc fellas and some goblin archers led by Drangu. He used to be called Drangu the Liar. Then in our capital we have Overlord Agandaur the Merciless with his orc marauders, halberdiers and some orc fellas. But we also have in this fort some hillmen, the Rhudaur raiders, pikemen and axemen, and Morholt, which has some Rhudaur archers, which is our best archer unit, though quite cheap, and compared to most factions is barely even scratching the surface of greatness when it comes to archers. But we're not an archer nation. We are an infantry nation. And we use our vast numbers to our advantage. And finally, we have Chief Hoonvorn, the Wraith of Cardolan, as it was once named in its title. And he has a unit of Barrow-wights, which I will be exploiting very well, because firstly, they cost no upkeep. They can move far, and they're really, really good. But we'll be surprised we can't make Barrow-wights. But I do know somewhere where we can. If we claim the Barrow Downs of Cardolan, we can once again reclaim the might of the Barrow Wights for our army. And that is going to be one of the main objectives of this campaign. Is to claim the Barrow Downs, so I may continue to make Barrow Wights. Claim the northern regions of the Misty Mountains, so Gundabad, Goblin Town, and maybe Dane's Halls, unless another faction beats me to it.
Ready.
I don't plan to take Zagkala or the Khazad-dûms. That would be a... Well, I might in the future.
Ready.
But the main targets are going to be the Mountains of Gundabad and Goblin Town. So we also have our spy, for some reason, all the way down in Goblin Town. Not down to Goblin Town, just down in Goblin Town.
Ready.
It's not that intimate. But yet we have our spy here, Musgore. We're going to send him... That's a good question. Where do I want to send him? Where are we going to exploit our power first?
Ready.
I think I want to start viewing the regions to the west.
Stay right there.
So, as I said, every faction, no allies, but only the independent realms as an enemy. You'll also see, as an orc nation, there's no invasion script where you can manipulate, because in the Total War campaign, there is no invasions. That was taken out long ago. But if you want to see invasions, I will be playing a different orc nation in the future without the Total War submod. But this is mainly just a distraction for when that faction comes to light. Anyway, enough talking. Where should we begin? I think it's best to get the building grounds, reduce the cost of any buildings we have to make in the future. Or I could immediately go for the mines in Litash. That's an additional 500 a turn for 4,500. So that immediately in 9 turns will pay itself off after waiting 6 turns. Yeah, let's do that. And besides, we're already making over 1,000 with what we've got.
Get ready for fighting.
So let's have a look at Agandaur, so you can have an idea of what he looks like. Now only Agandaur will look like this, because he is a black Numenorean descended from Mordor, with his unit of temple wards that nowhere in our nation we can create. But he is also quite expensive. So in this few turns of just building up, I'm going to set him into there. I'm going to have Hoonvorn move around, place some watchtowers.
Is that what you want?
Because in the beginning, it's best to build up our forces. I'm going to do that by getting some orc fellas at every location. I will get those warg riders. They may be a bit too expensive for my taste to begin with. We'll also get some goblin band at Khazad Dûm. And seeing we can make a few watchtowers with more holds.
Objective complete. Come on.
Oh yeah, you're going to be hearing those words a lot. Objective complete.
Get ready for fighting.
I'm not sure why it was a quote designed for orcs, but yep.
Objective complete.
If you don't like hearing objective complete, there's nothing I can really do about it, unfortunately. Now then, seeing none of these goblins are getting any free upkeep, let's move them immediately to the west. The same with these. I don't really want to be moving out Drangu or Ugduff, because they both only have, I say only, they're probably the best orc general bodyguard, the Angmar bodyguards. 11 attack and 22 total defense. That is really good. And you can also see for our mercenaries, unlike the elves, we already can get things like Rudauer raiders and hillmen. But for now, we're just going to keep them both there because they're getting free upkeep, and it's worth it. We're not going to be bothering with the halberdiers or the marauders for a while as well. We was wanting to have an army of goblins and orc fellas that can overthrow the land over here at Rockhand, or Rockhand, and Udanoriath. And maybe also the Etenmoors. We might want the Etenmoors as well. But for now, that's the end of turn 1. Now then, most factions won't go to war with each other for at least the first 10 turns, as they slowly build up their lands attacking the independent realms. But from what I've seen in the past when using the Total War submod, Dol Amroth and Gondor always go to war. Rohan and Isengard normally make an alliance, for those that won't believe me. Dol Guldur and Lorien normally go to war, but that's just expected. Khazad-dûm normally just go to war with the Orcs and Misty Mountains, though sometimes they just sit around doing absolutely nothing for the first couple turns, just building up their economy because they can, because they're very rich. Rune normally does nothing other than just claim more regions. Yep, Dol Amroth was already reclaimed Ethelond. Moria has been reclaimed. And we have recruited some Orc fellas and a unit of Goblin Band. And we're still making a pretty 1,000 each turn. Beautiful. And that's one of my favourite things about the Orc nations. You can build an entire army, watch it die, and you won't really care too much. I think that's definitely something I enjoy about this faction compared to many others. Because you start off in mountainous regions. You've got your ally protecting your east, and you can just go straight into the west. But in Total War, anything can happen. I mean, if I wanted to, I could just build an entire full stack army and move straight on to Gundabad, which I will do. But first, I think it's best we get some other regions too before any other faction snatches them. And also, we might need a diplomat, because if we don't start making alliances with 1 or 2 factions, we could be in trouble. Now let's move out this unit of Orc fellas. Just move into the fort. All my units that I'm going to keep are just going to move right into that fort. I might get that unit of Goblin infantry, but to be honest, I probably won't. Oh yeah, Hoonvorn's bodyguard wasn't set at 57. It will, or 58, whatever it was. It will always go up to 77 if I'm correct. That's the same with every general, like it was before. Any non-generic general, their units, if they ever deplete below 77, they will always reset to 77 and never above, unless they are retrained in a region that can make their unit type. But for someone like Hoonvorn, that's an exception because the Barrow-White normal unit size is I'm fairly certain 58. So Hoonvorn is better than any other Barrow-White unit, just because of his unit size. Worth making some snagger. They're arrow fodder. They're pretty decent arrow fodder, so why not? Get 2 units of snagger stalkers just to be arrow fodder, because who doesn't love a good bit of arrow fodder, right? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Litash is a stronghold, so immediately we start with a very powerful dwarven settlement, because this is a dwarven region. I know it says Gondor, but it is a dwarven stronghold. But then we've just got an Angmar large encampment, so again we have another massive building advantage. This is basically a large city. So we start with a large city, a stronghold, and a fortress, which is slightly better than a stronghold, but you can't build them in the game. Which also makes the Misty Mountains regions even more valuable. Anyway, another end turn. I keep babbling on. So yeah, the goblins already have Dol Bryn. That's as part of their turn 1 auto expansion. Plus there's no garrison in Dol Bryn, so they can just move anything into it and they'll take it. Now then, that rebel army, that is something to be scared of. And it's kind of safeguarding the Dunedain away from the orcs if they were to ever go to war. Geez, that was a fast thing. have diplomatic relations? Sure, I'll get trade.
Can I help?
Because unlike in Total War Warhammer, you can get all you need. You can get trade with anyone,
Get ready for
or
fighting.
map information with anyone, and they won't care if you go to war with
Is that
them.
what you want? Orcs!
They'll say, "Oh well, just
Objective
dissolve the contracts that were there before, and
ready
strike
for
them
fighting.
out."
Get ready for fighting.
Anyway, we have completed the building grounds in Khaldun and Shedun. And seeing Shedun is our only city, it will be our economic powerhouse. After about 100 turns, because it does take a while. But we can increase population growth with the Shrines of Melkor. That's something no other any other culture building gets. We orcs, for our Shrine of Melkor, get a population bonus, which is actually kind of cool. It just shows the more we worship our Lord, the more of us will flock to the banner. And we orcs, we breed like rabbits. We don't care. I'm going to just get the grain exchange though. It's 50 base income and an extra bit from trade. So we got the snagger from Shedun and Khaldun, and we're moving everything up. I'm going to leave more Holt Warriors for now. His Rudar units are too good to be sending out just yet. Although everything else I can move, I haven't already moved, so
Regroup, you louts. Listen up. Regroup,
these
you
units.
louts. Get ready for fighting. Listen up.
Agandaur. Oh, I want to move Agandaur yet? Well, bit late now. Bit late now.
Orcs. No sleeping here.
Move that unit of archers in.
Regroup, you louts. Get ready for fighting.
And everything else has moved its
Get
limit.
ready for fighting. Get ready for fighting. Regroup.
Those snagger in.
No sleeping here.
Yeah, this army alone will probably be enough to take the settlement of Rakhand.
Get ready
I mean,
for fighting.
Agandaur and Hunvorn alone are just OP generals. That's the thing I like about Angmar. They start with a lot of generals, and 3 of them are non-generic, which makes them very, very unique. Now then, this building here, the Hillman camp, is the way we make our Hillmen, because they don't come from the practice range, or the Warg breeder, or the garrison quarters. We need to build a separate building for them. And in the past, this building could only be made in regions like Khaldun, Litash, Shedun, and then the regions of Rudauer. But now it can be built anywhere. Just saying, it's just a way of showing we're spreading the influence of the Hillmen of Rudauer.
At your service.
No, I'm going to make a second diplomat because I mean they're only 50 upkeep. So overall, it's only costing me 100 just to keep both of these diplomats covered in cost. I think we could spare 100 if we can spare 86 for a unit of Snagger Stalkers. I think we'll manage.
Get ready for fighting.
But these units can stay in here for a while because they are actually quite expensive compared to our other trashier units. Our spies moving up, and there's Morvatarth. Some regions have bigger garrisons, some regions have smaller garrisons. Most factions that have a difficult beginning start with smaller garrison armies around the regions they plan to take. Just to give them a helping hand in a way. Because Angmar is definitely up there when it comes to hardest campaign starts. Another being Dol Guldur, seen you getting surrounded from all sides and attacked. So here we have a army of Rudar cavalry as the general, some Rudar archers, and then some hillmen. Now these Rudar cavalry don't look big and imposing, but trust me, they are. With those kinds of stats, they are terrifying. And we will be using them to deadly effect after the barracks event.
Can I help?
Now then, this diplomat will be moving over to the Dwarves of Aaron, which I'm going to attempt an alliance with. They're one of the only factions I'm willing to make an alliance with as well.
Listen up, orcs!
Because obviously the Dwarves of Aaron are extremely powerful. And in most Angmar campaigns you have to fight them and beat them down.
At once.
It's not normally easy to do that.
No sleeping here.
So this time I'm gonna make a bit of a fun thing.
Get ready for fighting.
Me and the dwarves, we get similar to the Mouth of Sauron. Agandaur gifts the dwarves of rings of power in exchange for being our spies in a way.
No sleeping here.
Our
Pick your feet
axe
up. Kill them
will
all.
slowly influence what they are capable of. And by not attacking them, we have a strong ally in the north. Now then, Angsul is actually quite well defended. Orc marauders, goblin archers, and halberdiers and scourge raiders. I'm actually going to leave it.
We have completed an objective.
It looked like a good idea to start with, but then I noticed the scourge raiders, and I thought that's a post barracks event unit. I don't want to have to deal with that yet. It's too early in the game to be trying to deal with that. And to be honest, only a castle. Yes, it's okay, but
Listen up.
it's not that good.
No sleeping here.
So with all the other units at the old Witch Realm fort,
Orcs.
actually no, we've come too far to stop now.
Kill them all. Orcs.
We'll move these 4 goblin
Get
units to
ready.
join
Come on.
us,
Get ready for fight. Listen up. Orcs.
and
Get ready for fighting.
these 2
Come
units.
on. We have listen up. Orcs.
All we need to do is for the goblin archers,
Get ready for fighting.
use the snagger stalkers as arrow fodder,
Listen up.
and
No
let our
sleeping
archers
here.
shoot down the halberdiers and try and shoot down some of the scourge raiders.
Orcs.
And then let the orc fellows try and tangle with the orc marauders and the scourge raiders, and then surround them with the generals and the goblin band.
No sleeping here.
All the way around. Let the band do the tangling with, and then let the orc fellows just charge in from the side, because they have a good charge bonus. That's literally all they're good at. Once they charge in, they are pretty trashy. They are pretty trashy orcs. But most orcs are trashy, so can't expect them to do much. But we'll be fine. We will be okay. So I have faith we can take Angsul. Even if it means we just siege them out, it means they're losing more units every turn. But if they immediately attack us, that's the plan. You go straight into them.
Get ready for fighting.
Now then, move those stalkers out for a second, so I can put the archers with the other archers.
Come on, get ready for fighting.
So I hate it when things don't look perfect.
Orcs. Pick your feet up. No sleeping here. Get ready for
I put a unit of fellas with the others.
Listen up.
Put that with the others.
Get ready for fighting.
There we go. Everything still looks crisp and clean.
Destroy them.
Get some ladders as well. Because unlike the elves, we can besiege a region, and we can really take advantage of things like ladders to surround them. That's the fun of the orcs. You get to surround your opponent, and you don't care if you lose guys in that process, because you'll always have more fodder to send in. Now I should probably start getting up to the blacksmith tier with at Carndoom. Because one, it's slightly faster because this is a fortress and not a city, and it's our capital, so we're going to be making most of our units from here. So let's move Haku.
Yes.
That sounds so similar to Aku.
Tomorrow's journey.
And for those that don't know Aku, watch Samurai Jack. I really recommend it.
Without question, my lord.
It's so good.
Stopping here.
Well, they really haven't left much of a garrison in Gundabad. They've left Mazul, a unit of Orc bodyguard, and then one other unit. Yeah, I think attacking Gundabad will be a thing probably next part. Though I might start the invasion then. Well, here and now. Do I want to up the tax rate in Shadoon? No, let's keep it like that for now. I might even make it low. just to try and induce population growth. Because we're not losing any money, and we're not gaining anything by gaining more. Because we're making an additional 500 more once the mines are finished. And by turn 20, we're literally making an additional 500 a turn, and we've already paid back the 4,500 we paid to make it. So everything is good. Now, will the rebels attack us? Or do I know them too well and they'll just sit in there like cowards? I know them too well. They know they can't defeat us, so they'll just sit there doing nothing for a while. Now, and the butchery is good, but I've already got a spy, so this won't give me an additional spy. I'm not likely to get another city for a while, so let's build a leather tanner. Every bit of money counts everywhere I can.
Ready.
Oh yeah, I've already seen Morvatarth, so now I need to find a fill-in and Nokva Aglar. So Nokva has some Rudar Raiders, some Axemen, and some Cavalry, so probably more difficult to take than Morvatarth. In fact, no, it is, because the Hillmen are the weakest of the Rudar units. The Cavalry are probably the strongest, other than the Pikemen. No one can say otherwise that the Rudar Pikemen are an amazing Pikeman unit. 4 attack and 8 total defense. Triple that attack to be 12 when they're in their full defensive stance. And if they didn't even already need it, a 5 charge bonus. They are just made to be deadly, and I love it. I think that's the main thing that Angmar has, the fact they have the Rudar units and the Witch Realm units. And for those I don't know what I mean and haven't seen much of the other campaign, the Loring campaign, these are the Witch Realm units. The Witch Realm Pikemen and the Witch Realm Marauders. 2 extremely powerful units, probably the strongest orcs to ever exist. Apologies if anyone can see that. But yeah, those are our 2 strongest units, and comboed with the General's Bodyguard, they are the most elite orcs currently in the game to exist.
Can I help, my lord?
The heaviest of armor,
Yes. Continuing
and the most
tomorrow.
brutal of orc
Tomorrow's journey awaits.
warriors. But now it's just another end turn. They're not going to besiege us. Well, they're not going to strike back. They're just going to wait until the last turn, and then they'll die. I would like to besiege Agandaur, but I know very well that with this small an army against that those strong units, the best thing to do is just sit and wait. Gundabad can wait, and besides, it's fun to wait and watch the world unravel. See who goes to war. Has anyone made war with anyone yet? Nothing yet. It's all clear. So yeah, we can't really do much until wars start being made. Otherwise, we might become a target. Because once one faction knows they can't defeat another faction, they'll wish to declare alliances with their neighbours, and they will in turn fight against us. So it's always good to wait until a few wars have begun before you start making your mark on the world. So we've now got the mines, so we're now making back 1,000 each turn. We could make the mining now. Oh wait, what? Make an extra. Okay. That costs 8,000, so we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait a long time. Oh, there are mines in Shadoon. That's an additional 250 each turn as well. We'll have to wait a bit though, because I'm not going to get that kind of money for a while.
Yes, my lord. Without question.
I'm sure after 1 or 2 battles where we've started
Continuing
losing
tomorrow.
units, we'll
Can I help? Is
get
there
back to that point
something
again.
I can do for you?
I want trade rights.
You have no complaints with this plan. Your time was most...
And what do I get? 2 unit of Goblin Band. Beautiful. And they're both free upkeep. Even more beautiful.
Honor, Lord.
Let's move to speak with
Yes.
Anduin. Let's hope we get a quest sooner or later, telling us to go to Anduin.
At your service. Stopping
The
here.
dwarves don't actually of Eredluin don't do much for the majority of the early game. It's kind of a way to make Khan Doom, or not Khan Doom, the remnants of Angmar build up a bit. Because otherwise they just get stampeded
No
over.
sleeping here.
So already they've lost at least 10 from each unit. So we've killed off, without doing anything, 70 orcs. I like that. I like that. I like those odds a lot. And each turn we're killing at least another 7 or 8. Angmar shall rise from the ashes again. Even though lore-wise, Angmar would never be able to become a faction again without Erebor, or at least a stronger hold on the north. Yep, speak with the Vale of Anduin for 500 coin.
Without
I can do that.
question,
What is it you
Framsburg.
wish to discuss?
I want trade.
You hold data.
They can never not accept trade. That's what I like about this game. They always have to accept trade because it's
Tomorrow's
a
journey
beneficial agreement for.
awaits.
Oh, someone went to war. I didn't see who because I accidentally clicked too quickly. But who went to war? Mordor has gone to war with Gondor. Unfortunately, a war that was probably going to happen anyway. But a war nonetheless. But unfortunately, a war we can't benefit off, which is unfortunate. Huh, that practice range looks different to the other practice range. Maybe my eyes go in. Oh, I could actually get some Wild Riders. But do I want to? How much free upkeep can I have here? 3. So I could make them and then just sit them in Litash. I'll get 1, see if there's... Yeah, get the building ground. If you can get the building ground, get the building ground.
Get ready for fighting.
Oh, no one was defeated this time. Wait, did they actually change the rule? Because I did notice a lot in the last campaign. When several units were under siege, they didn't actually suffer any kind of attrition. Did they get rid of it? Or did they really reduce it so it's only once every like 2 turns? I'll have to find out. Whoa, the dwarves already have another region, do they? Or is that part of their original starting unit? Starting regions. No, it can't be. That's the coastal keep, isn't it? Imladus has reclaimed the Legion.
At your service. Without question, my lord.
Talaf Muil. No, this is of a different region. I know it is. There it is.
What?
So they've already reclaimed Garth Helagoth. Oh, so this is just a Moss and Bailey.
What is it you wish to talk about?
I want trade.
This seems quite
And,
upset.
if you'd be
Very
willing,
well.
an
What's your
alliance.
next? I accept this. Pleasure, noble sire.
The dwarves have accepted our gifts. And with it, a great an alliance of
Without question, my
a
lord.
truly evil alliance has been forged. I will shape those fools to my will. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. I should probably start getting some more units, because when I do besiege Gundabad, I will need some higher tier units. Halberdiers? They do cost more than the Marauders. I'm just going to get 2 units of Marauders, actually.
Orcs!
I'm going to move this unit of Snagger Stalkers up,
Come on!
because I feel like we're going to need some kind of garrison.
We have
in
completed
Ansel.
an objective.
And I think some Snagger Stalkers will do just fine. And now we know our western border is quite secure, even if the dwarves do take Oilad. It's currently only the Dunedain Rangers and Bree. They're the two factions I will never align myself with, and I will always go to war with. But the dwarves, in their greed, have accepted our offering,
This way.
and they have joined us.
Stay right there.
And to be honest, that's probably the only faction I'm actually going to align with, because I'm going to be attacking
Hold up!
the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. Maybe after I've taken Goblin Town, I may ask for they may ask for peace, and I may accept. Because other than that, I'm going to end up attacking the Dwarves of Erebor. Because the main objectives I want from this campaign is to take some of the greatest mountain regions of the game. So Goblin Town, Erebor, Gundabad. I currently now have hold over these regions here. Now that the dwarves have been subjugated under my will. I want to also take the Breland, the Angle, if it's not already taken by another faction that I don't want to be made an enemy of, and the Barrow Downs. Those are the only regions I really want, and I only need 30 regions for the campaign to end, nothing else. But now it's time for the first battle of the game and to show off some of the orcs of Angmar. So it looks like the orcs are currently just moving things around, not doing much. However, they're moving through Anduin's land isn't exactly a smart idea unless they want to make war. Anyway, yep. They'll move out at the last minute just to try and protect what little they have left. But what do they have left? Captain Flak. His scourge rate is 161. And Orc Halberdiers, 160. 183 Orc Marauders, 183 Goblin Archers. Let us fight. We have about 900, near 1,000, and we have 2,700 Orcs. Orc on Orc violence. Yes, yes, it's a natural thing. Get over it. Now, the first thing we need to do is take that siege equipment off our units. Ah, so it's only a orc stronghold, so it's not like it's not big stuff here that we're taking. It's just a stronghold, not a stronghold, an orc castle. Now we'll actually set those stalkers further forward. Then we will have the band behind the archers to protect them. And like I said, 2 units of orc fellas to the left. 2 units of orc fellas. In fact, no, these 2 are better on the left, seeing they're already there. And you 2 are better on the right. We'll slowly move you around after that. Then we've got the Black Hand of Mordor. Oh, I did not notice that. That's actually from Shadow of Mordor. That's a new thing. And then he's got his Serpent Elixir, Hoonvorn. And those guys there, those are actually, I think, unique to only Hoonvorn, who looks obviously like a Dunedain that has been possessed with his glowing eyes. And then in the back, the feared Temple Wards, not Temple Guard. That's what they used to be called, I think. Yep, they're inspiring our troops and frightening the enemy. And orcs are easily startled, even elite orcs. Actually, no, stop right there. Just stop moving and start shooting. Move the band back a bit. And the stalkers take the brunt of whatever they're going to throw at me. Why they're only walking is beyond me. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting these guys aren't elves. They don't move good. They don't move good. They ain't fast, and they're not really furious until you get them into melee. It's all about getting them into melee. Let's move them up. Send the stalkers in already. Have those fellas charge into the raiders. And let these two fella units keep moving forward. Let's keep our generals far enough from the front line. Their leadership bonuses and frightening bonuses still are in effect. Let's move into position. I don't know what the hell these stalkers are doing, but I should probably take them out of loose formation. Yep, those Scourge Raiders are in for a hell of a time. Prepare to lose half your armour. Let's see how well this does. Oh, right into the general too. Oh, yeah, the generals have been replaced with Rudauer Hillmen. Well, Rudauer Swordsman looking generals for Angmar. It's to give them more the feel that they're not just orcs, they are now also hillmen. And that is their only real unique trait compared to other orc nations. The orcs of Dol Guldur, obviously they have the Easterling backup from like Kamal's Shadow Guard and all of Kamal's Shadow units. They are Easterlings. They are Easterlings that have come from Rune and that serve Kamal himself. And so they wear the silver armour that they've been domed with. Then there's the orcs of Mordor, we get the elitist trolls. And obviously the help from Harad, Rune and Khand. From the Blackgate and Baladur. Now then, let's use Serpent Elixir. See if that does anything for our guys. And then the Black Hand of Mordor, which I have no idea what it does. But soon to find out. But from what I'm seeing, some of those guys are already shaken. Oh gosh, that's actually... They killed 40 of them. Oh my gosh. That's impressive. That is impressive. And my Goblin Archers are doing the work as well. Let's keep shooting them down. So wait, Agandaur's ability is not just a one use. Okay, I'm liking Agandaur more and more. Oh, and they're routing. They're routing, really pushing deep. Do not give them an inch.
Only half the enemy force remains.
If they're already routing this badly, oh, it's beautiful. If we can make all of them rout before they reach the centre, that's it. It's done. GG. GG these poor orcs. Yeah, Goblin Archers may not be the best archers in the world, but with the fact there's 203 of them in each unit, they're bound to do some damage. And most of that damage is now being done to me, so we're going to stop them. Yeah, I'm losing my orcs in the 20s here. From my own Goblin Archers, so we'll stop them shooting for a while. Just keep charging in. Let's break the Scourge Raiders. Oh, they're charging again. Oh, beautiful. The Orc fellas may only be really good on the charge, but against units that rely entirely on armour, like the Scourge Raiders, because let's have a look at their stats. May only be 9 armour, but that's half of that gone. So they only have a total of 10 defense. And on the charge, these orcs deal 9 damage. So those orcs have to be feeling that pain. Oh, and they're recouping now. But they went into the centre. They went to the centre, saw something, and then decided to come back again. That's my opinion on it anyway. Let's keep on moving in. So Agandaur's ability isn't just a one use. After 180 seconds you can use it again. It's similar to the Light of Elbreth that Haldir had. I think that's what makes some generals stronger, is the fact that their power can be used more than once. But we also need to remember, with each temple ward that dies, there's not going to be anyone that can replace them until they fall down to 77.
Captured the enemy's general.
And there goes the
Guard him
general.
well and make it so he can see us defeat the rest of his army.
Oh, I love the deepness in the voices of the orc announcer. Oh, and then there's this. Eowyn kneeling down next to Theoden as the captain is dead. Now let's just go into screen lock and just have a nice view of everything. Should probably zoom in first. Because I forget scroll lock means you can't move forward. So let's actually have a look at Agandaur's custom strategy model. He's a bit Mouth of Sauron-y looking, but he is definitely unique in his look. Because no one else looks like him. So we just need to keep send our units in and just watch these poor fools die. You shouldn't. Still not be in loose formation. We've claimed the centre. They're routing. Oh, they have goblin archers still. Let's bring them down. Just march for the centre. Oh, they're too fast for me. They're going to get there and I'm going to have to defeat all of them. Yeah, they're still only wavering, but they're still technically in the centre, so yeah, we're going to have to kill them all off. So we're going to have to start surrounding them. That's the strongest thing the orcs have.
The battle is very much
They're superior mass in numbers. If the AI knew how to use them correctly, would always win as an orc nation, just because of the fact that they can just surround you so easily. I'm not saying always. Obviously, there's that one or two situations where they're always bound to lose. But in a 50-50 match, or 50-50 battle, and if the AI really knew how to maneuver the orcs in a way that they could actually surround you entirely, they would never truly win, because they'd always. You'd never truly win because units like pikemen, their true weakness is that if you surround them, they lose. So if you do the same to any other elite units, eventually, yes, you're going to lose a lot of guys in the process, but if you can kill them off, it's worth it. And that's why the evil factions, well, not all evil factions, just the orc nations get trolls.
No longer command the castle.
No, we're commanding the castle now. Let's use the Dark Lord Black Hand of Mordor again. Those archers still firing. Stop them. And down they go. It may not have been a siege battle initially, but in the end it was still a siege battle. We lost 762, but we still have 2,000. And in orcs, that's all that matters. We healed a damn good amount in all. We healed at least 100, 70, 80. Yeah, we healed 115. What of the dawn? They jeered. We are the Uruk-hai. We come to kill by sun or moon. Yeah, the orcs are just designed to be made impervious to the sun, which has always been the true weakness of the orcs. Unfortunately, in this game, the orcs don't work better at night compared to at day. if they did, then it'd just be easy for any non-orc nation player to just always fight in the sun and almost always win because of that disadvantage the orcs would get. But to be honest, that would be a nice bit of diversity for the faction. Yep, and Saul is now ours, and we can't upgrade it any further, so it's going to be like that forever.
Yes. At once.
And here are the Elves of the Woodland realm, which I'm fairly certain in the future will soon be fighting as well. Oh, Latash hasn't got roads yet. That'd be something nice to add on.
Can I help?
What is it you wish to
First, let's get
discuss?
trade rights.
You hold us at until we meet again.
Yes.
Yes, I do hold you at
Continuing
ransom.
Tomorrow.
Remember this. Well, hello, orcs.
Is that what you want?
It was only a matter of time before I knew you'd be coming here. And so I have prepared for you.
No sleeping here. Oh! We have completed an objective.
Prepare to look into the face of God.
Objective, come. No sleeping here. Is that what you want? Come on!
And with everything moved out, we are now down to making only 200 a turn. Beautiful. And we can actually make a port here. Oh, we can make ports. I forgot they allowed us to make ports now. And all these units can be retrained. Oh, it's beautiful. Yep, the Melkor's shadow has already engulfed Angsul. So we already have quite a few units here that are free
Get ready
upkeep.
for fighting. No sleeping here.
And what units are actually worth keeping here? Because I'm only getting 1 free upkeep currently, so some orc fellas.
Get ready for fighting. No sleeping here.
Let's merge what orc fellas we do have together.
Get ready for fighting. Listen up.
Someone's going to leave Agandaur and Hoonborn out. Things are still okay. Take out the goblins. Things are still okay.
You louts.
Take out the
No sleeping
2
here.
4 units of orc fellas. Things are still alright. Take out the last unit of orc fellas.
Get
Things are
ready
still
for fighting.
okay.
Regroup, you louts.
Things are still good.
Get ready for fighting.
I'm going to build 1 watchtower on the way out.
Objective.
And then until I get a general again, I'm not going to
Listen up.
bother with the west.
Listen up. Come on.
The west is not my concern right now. It's dealing with the orcs of Gundabad.
Objective complete.
And with this army of 10 units, well, 9 units,
Orcs. No sleeping
5
here.
more,
Orcs.
9 more.
Get
Yeah,
ready
we
for fighting.
we can just add in some 2 other units of Goblin Band.
No sleeping here. Orcs. Get ready for fighting.
So we'll end the turn one more time and see if the orcs of the Misty Mountains will declare war to us. If they don't, then I will make the move, seeing they're clearly too cowardly to try. But if they do, bravo to them. I can watch them die. And the orcs are making another grand mistake. They sent only a captain and not a general. Nothing really. Strange. And I'm back to making 0 money. I'm making zilch.
Listen. Is that what you want?
Zograd, eh? Can't do him as a leather worker.
No sleeping here. Or get ready for fighting. No sleeping here.
Shame we can't move anything into the fort. It's just 1 space out.
Get ready for fighting.
Oh, as I said, move this unit of orc fellas into there.
No sleeping here. Oh.
Move those guys on.
Orcs.
And here.
No sleeping here.
And here.
Get ready for fighting.
And here.
Regroup, you louts.
Now this is a question I'm going to impose upon
Get
you
ready for
guys.
fighting.
Do I let
Is that what you
Zograd
want?
pass through my lands, knowing he might attack me? Or am I going to be
that what you
merciless
want?
enough to strike him? And then the great war between the orcs of the Misty Mountains and the orcs of Angmar shall begin. Oh, the Shadow of Merc and the Vale of Andon have gone to war. So currently we are allies with the Dwarves of Aaron. Gondor and Mordor have gone to war, and Anduin and Dol Guldur have gone to war. Hope you all enjoyed this first part. I will be out with more in the future. But I will also be trying to get some more Age of the Ring videos in, because I do quite enjoy some like I said in the last video, I did quite enjoy that tournament map, the 4v4. So I might show off more of them along with these Total War videos. Anyway, I will see you all next time. Farewell.